Welcome back to our channel. Today is Tuesday. It is Economics Tuesday again. After learning demand and supply, remember the parallelism, similar methodology, and we are at the right position to do something great. Okay, find out the competitive market equilibrium. It is an excellent idea. Very simple curve, but the results are clear. So let's go. First of all, we talk about we're still in microeconomics, okay, competitive markets equilibrium, okay, how the market price and markets quantity formed, okay. So first of all, we talk about formation of markets equilibrium. Very simple. The demand and supply curve are forming a markets equilibrium. What is a market equilibrium? When the quantity demand and the quantity supply are the same, no excess demand, no excess supply, right? So equilibrium. Yeah, the buying and the selling are exactly the same, okay? So how can we find out this equilibrium? Easy, by the point of intersection of what? Demand and supply curve. So we learned it already. So now is the harvest time, okay, to get something from there. And there are three major definitions you need to remember to get 1 or 2 marks in the long question. Market. Market is the arrangement where buyer and seller exchange resources, goods, and services. In the old time, is physical. We think now it's online maybe. And market equilibrium is the situation where the quantity demand equals quantity supply. This is the definition, right? The supply and demand curve is just the way to find out this market equilibrium. The definition, remember, quantity demand equals quantity supply. Remember it. So in competitive market equilibrium, what do you mean by competitive market equilibrium? Price stick. No power on price. Okay, so both the producer and the consumer are price takers. So the producer are price maximizing, and profits maximizing. The consumer is a utility maximizing. Remember, before you learn about demand supply, the assumption where the demand and supply came out. So the law of demand, law of supply came out. It's by this utility maximization and the profits maximization. Remember, marginal utility, marginal cost, okay, marginal benefits, okay. And they will reach an equilibrium price in competitive by themselves. They all want to maximize their own goodness, but they will attain equilibrium for the social goodness, okay, both civics and pay. And price is free to move. Free to move means that no one has power on it. Okay, no one has power on the price. Okay, all are price takers, so price is free to move. Okay, we'll see it clearly later. So it is a market equilibrium very easy. Draw the supply curve and draw the demand curve, and then the point of intersection is the price where the quantity demand and the quantity supply are the same, right? So we call it market quantity, okay? And then this is the P times Q is the amount paid by the consumer and the amount got by the supplier, okay? Because remember, price is the money for each unit, right? So price times the quantity demand and supply is the whole cost and whole benefit, okay? So when the quantity demand and quantity supply are the same, okay, low surplus, okay, equilibrium, okay, is shown by the intersection point X of the demand and supply curve. Okay, this price P, both the quantity demand and quantity supply is equals Q. Okay? And the shade area above shows the consumer expenditure and the producer revenue. So it's a special term for the money the consumer paid. You call it expenditure, and also special term for the money the producer got. We call it revenue. Okay, don't mix them up. Okay, consumer expenditure, producer revenue. Okay, in paper three, okay, we did some calculation. That's very easy. Just remember, okay, equilibrium price, okay, QD equals QS equal QA. And the consumer expenditure, producer revenue, special term, but only P times Q. One Q because both QD and QS are the same. And if we have an algebraic way to do it, okay, so we have the demand and supply no matter how. So equate them. Equate demand and supply, and then we have an equation. And then what is the unknown? P. So we solve for the price, I mean we have the equation for the price, and substitute it back to any equation, okay, and you get the same result because the quantity demand and quantity supply are the same. So we have the equation here, equilibrium price and equilibrium quantity. I'm not asking you to remember it, I just show you algebraically. You can solve it in a real exam. All this ABCD will be given, okay? and you can do it easily because it's just two linear equation in two unknown Q and P, right? And then graphically, maybe you can draw the sketch of demand and supply curve quantitatively, okay, with the function, okay, and then find out the point of intersection, okay. And remember, the x-axis is the quantity and the y-axis is the price. Okay? Don't mix them up. And also remember, copy the corresponding unit of x into the final answer. You got P and Q. Q is 3. Of course, not 3 unit, maybe 3 tons, okay, 3,000 tons, okay. So be careful, copy the units, okay. And increase of demand. How do the demand and supply affect the equilibrium? Of course, when there's an increase of demand, there's excess demand, and then excess demand, more people want to buy, and then they will pay more money, right? So excess demand pulls up the price. Okay. Of course, if it is excess supply, it will pull down the price, right? The producer will be willing to sell it at a lower price if it is excess supply. So excess demand, excess means surplus, okay, of the market demand over the market supply, okay, and excess demand will cause a rise of market price. On the contrary, excess supply is also the surplus, but now it's a market supply as a surplus over market demand, okay. So supply more to the supplier, the producer willing to sell it at a lower price, so it causes a drop of market price in the free markets, okay. And how to demonstrate it? It is first of all, how to demonstrate excess demand to produce increase of demand. Okay, this is like this. Okay, so it's complicated. So first remember, one is the initial. So originally you have S and D1. Okay, you have a demand and supply curve. Okay, original. So you have the original P1 and Q1. Okay, and then when the demand rises, okay, the demand curve shift to the rise from D1 to D2. Okay. So the demand curve shift, but the price don't change so quickly. Okay, it takes some time for the price to adjust. Okay, so the price is still a P1. Okay, it's essential. Okay, the price won't change immediately. It takes some time. So at this price P1. Okay, but the demand curve has changed, right? So the demand becomes QV. The supply is Q1. Oh no, QV larger than Q1. Excess demand. Okay, so the pricing mechanism starts. Okay, so because there's excess demand, so the excess demand will push the price up. Okay, when the price up, okay, by the law of demand, okay, the demand drops. Okay, so QV drops. And also price is an incentive, right? When price increase, the price rise, quantity supply increases, so Q1 increases. So this QV and Q1, although they are separate, they will merge back at the new equilibrium position Q2 when the price rises from P1 to P2. And then until at the P2 at the quantity demand and quantity supply again the same as Q2. A new market equilibrium is formed, so more as Q increases, okay, more resources are allocated in the production of the goods. Okay, very complicated diagram, so you have to show it clearly by D1, D2. Okay, one is initial, two is final. Okay, two parallel demand curve because it's an increase of demand, so demand shift to the right. Okay, and so clearly the price Q1 and P1 first equilibrium, and then become QV, and then they merge together to Q1. And the arrow is important, okay, showing what happened, okay, because the same diagram can be a decrease of demand, right? If this is D2 to D1, so clearly. So also you need to in exam paper you need to say some real life example, okay. So when the weather gets hot, okay, the demand of a soft drink increases, but the price will increase, but not immediately, right? So we will try, it will increase slowly. Also, increasing the price of the substitute of cigarette, for example, pipe, okay? Increase the demand for cigarettes, okay? So because less quantity demand for pipe, okay? Of course, in decreasing the price of the complements, okay? For example, decrease the price of alcohol, okay? Alcohol and cigarette always consumed together, complement, okay? And then will increase the demand of cigarette, okay? Real life example, you have to call some example. For example, e-commerce, okay, now it's very popular, right? You buy things from internet too, right? Yes. So in the US, e-commerce grows about 20% every year, right? So there's a large increase of demand for retailer, okay? Labor, special labor for e-retailer. So the price of them, the salary increases to 25% higher than the general retailer, okay? So high demand for e-retailer, high price, high salary for the e-retailer, okay? They move up together, okay? Demand and price, okay? And then decrease of demand, okay? When the demand decreases, there's excess supply, right? Excess supply push the price down. Same diagram, right? Now just change the role of going up or going down. Now you can do it. Okay. Okay, here. You need to look at the way you can explain. Okay, when the demand decreases from D1 to D2, right? But the price is the same P1 as before. So the quantity supply is still Q1, but the quantity demand drops quickly to D3. Okay. So there's an excess supply, and the excess supply pull down the price from P1 to P2. And when the price decreases, okay, what will happen? Okay, because by the law of demand, when the price decreases, the demand increases. And because price has an incentive effects for production, and when the price drops, the supply decreases. Until the price drops to P2, a new equilibrium quantity Q2 happen, where the quantity demand and the quantity supply are the same. You see, all this when you can explain it clearly, okay? If you don't trust yourself, then pause the window and then bring up my paper, draw the graph, and write it down. I'm sure you can write about 50% or 60% of what's here. Okay, and if you get any stuck on any parts, and then play the video again, okay? Just a few minutes before, okay? And then you can learn it because you are smart. I'm sure you can learn it quick. You should do some practice now. Don't practice it in the exam. Practice it before the exam, okay, with us, okay? Through this video. And then a change of demand by currency appreciation and depreciation. What does demand do with a currency? Because we're talking about demand of domestic products. Okay. So value of currency affects the demand and supply of domestic products. For example, when the local currency depreciates, don't think about the other. Just think about the first one first. Okay. When the local currency depreciates, the demand of domestic goods increases. Why? Why? Think about it. Okay, when the currency depreciates, and then the imports, because your currency is cheaper, right? So the imports becomes more expensive, right? So the demand for imports drops, okay, and its substitute, okay, the demand of domestic good will increase. That's the reason. Okay. So as the demand increases, okay, the demand curve shifts to the right, and then the price of the domestic goods and the quantity demand both increases. Okay. So now is the turn. Think about discuss it for the appreciate one. Yes, forwards. Okay, when the local currency appreciate, okay, so the imports could become cheaper, less expensive. So the demand for imports increases. Okay? So the demand for its substitute domestic good decreases. So the demand curve shift to the left. Okay, and both the price and the quantity demand for domestic good drops. Okay? You see, you can do it. Okay, just try to say it. Okay, maybe explain it to your friend. Okay, and then do some practice. Okay, this is the diagram. Up and down. Now I just describe a scenario why the demand go up. Demand go up because domestic demand increases because the import demand drops. Okay, why the import demand drops? Okay, because import becomes expensive, more expensive. Why? Because local currency depreciate or foreign currency appreciate. You can do it. We can do it. Just think about it more. Maybe you go out and think about more daily life example about this shape of the demand curve and supply curve for reason. Okay, and then in graphical situation is very complicated. I understand. You have to draw two parallel curves for the changing graph. Okay, maybe changing demand, so two parallel demand curve. Changing supply, two parallel supply curve. And you remember label it 1 and 2. And draw the arrow to show the direction of change of the curve, price, and quantity output. Okay, it is all in the marking scheme. We're doing already, right? The other concept is increase of supply. Okay? So when do supply increase? Okay, so if supply increase, okay, there is excess supply, right? So supply increase and the decrease of demand also have excess supply. And then remember what happened to excess supply? Pull down the price. Okay? So this is the scenario. Okay, so, but now is the supply change. Okay, so equilibrium is still S1 and P1 and Q1 at first. Okay, point A. Okay, when the supply increases from S1 to S2, increase because shift to the right. Okay, more quantity supply. Okay, and then the price is reluctant to change at first, okay, not no immediate change, okay. So the quantity demand is still Q1, but the quantity supply increased to Q3. Oh no, Q3 larger than Q1. Excess supply. So what will happen? Yes, excess supply will push the price down. But this is the good way, okay, to restore the equilibrium, because when the price is being pushed down by the law of demand, the quantity demand increases, right? And price has an incentive effect. Okay, when the price decrease, the quantity supply drops. Okay, so good. So until at the P2, okay, the quantity demand and quantity supply are the same as the new equilibrium price, equilibrium quantity Q2. Okay, a new market equilibrium is formed, and then Q2 is larger than Q1, right? More resources are allocated to production of goods. Okay. For example, maybe government has some scheme to make the goods more accessible, build some roads, okay, build better roads, okay, make the goods more accessible or to people, or makes the goods more affordable because government has some subsidy on it, okay, to people, and then the supply will increase. Okay, it is an example why supply increase. You did another lot of example. Okay, you just pick one to remember it and call it in as a real example for supply increase. For example, from 1940 to 2015, there's a great technological advancement for corn yields. Okay, it is from Internet search. Okay, for corn technology for corn farming. Okay, so the average corn yields are also quickly by 400%. The quantity supply increases. Why? Because the advancement of the technology, so the cost of supply production is decreased, so the supply curves increase. Okay. And also rice and wheat, we can describe okay, what happened to it, okay. And then the rice and wheat and subsidy, okay. When the price of wheat increases, the demand for wheat drops, okay. So the demand for rice increases and the rice price will increase, so they will increase and decrease at the same time, okay. When? Okay, in 2019, okay, they both reached the record high together, and there's something bad happened, okay. Not always happy, okay. In a bumper harvest, a quick harvest of crops, okay, the supply increases so great, okay, that the price will drop, even drops under the harvest, the cost of harvest. Okay, for example, the harvest of banana in Taiwan, 2019 is so great that the price is so low, and they even cannot cover the transport cost. So the farmer don't harvest it. They will lose money if they harvest it and transport out, okay, because they can't cover the transportation loss. And also after World War II, many soldiers came back to US. There's demand for housing increases, okay, and the price rises. And later on, okay, there is a shortage of housing, okay, and the rose of interest rate are also affected too. Just remember one, okay? Which one you choose, A, B, C, or D? Yes, remember it, and then recite it out. Can you? Try, okay? Because you really need to code some real world data to get the 2 or 3 marks in the exam paper, okay? Decrease of demand supply, okay. When the supply decrease, okay, supply decrease means is demand surplus, right? Excess demand, okay. So both a decrease of supply or increase of demand has an excess demand. The same graph, okay. Now just concentrate the graph, don't look at the word, okay. Can you explain it? What happened in the supply increase? Really opposite to the supply decrease. You can do it. Remember A, equilibrium P1 and Q1 and S1 and S change, okay. Supply decrease, so shift to the left, okay. When supply decrease, you shift to the left. From where? S1 to S2, but the price remain as P1, not change immediately. So the quantity demand is still Q1, but the quantity supply drops to Q3. Oh no, Q1 larger than Q3, okay. Excess demand, and the excess demand will push up the price, okay. And the price is by the law of demand, okay, and the price increase, the quantity demand drops, okay, from Q1. And it has an incentive effect, right? When the price increase, the quantity supply increase from Q3, okay. So these two increase and decrease and will match at Q2. When the price goes to P2, a new equilibrium is formed because the quantity demand and supply are the same as Q2. You see? Exactly the same thing. Fewer resources Q decrease, okay? Fewer resources are allocated in the production of the good, okay? You learn it, okay? It's knowledge, it's not just some nices, okay? You learn it, okay? No need to remember it blindly, okay? Just remember supply, demand. So we learn all the four things, right? Two supply, increase and decrease, two supply, decrease or increase, okay? Excellent. So in the real life example, and then during the oil crisis, the OPEC, okay, reduce the supply of oil. So the supply increases quickly, so decreases quickly, so the price of oil shoot up by quadruple, 400%. Crazy. So and then change of the supply and change of cost of production. Okay. So how do the supply change? Okay. Example is a change of cost of production. Remember, when the cost of production decrease, supply increases. More incentive. When the change and the cost of production increase, more costly to produce, so supply will drop. Right? It's the reason. So which one is cost of production increase? Supply decrease because yes, cost of production increase. Supply increase because cost of production decrease. So it's a little bit tricky, right? Decrease and decrease and decrease and decrease, increase, right? Sometimes the same direction, sometimes opposite. So need to understand it clearly. The concept, not the contents. The contents you can't memorize. Okay. So this is the thing. Okay. So when the supply increase, you can see a price increase and quantity decrease. Okay. When the supply increase, price drop, but the quantity increase. Okay. These two sides are opposite. Okay, so another example why supply chain may be due to a tax, tariff, and subsidy. Do you know a tax and tariff increase the cost of production, right? And then cost of production increases, but the subsidy on the contrary decrease the cost of production. Okay, so when the tax or tariff increases, the cost of production increase, or when subsidy decrease, the cost of production also increase. Okay? So the cost of production increase, less willing to supply more product, right? So the supply decrease. Price will rise and the quantity will drop. On the contrary is here. Opposite. Opposite. So try to look at B again and try to think about the reverse one, the opposite one. You can do it. Okay? Be an active learner. So this is the calculation of the excess demand and supply. Very easy. Remember, equilibrium is the point of intersection. Okay? Equilibrium is the same price. Okay, to one quantity. And what is the excess demand and supply? Look at the draw a horizontal line. For the price above it is excess supply. Price below it is the excess demand. Very easy. Okay? Excess demand, excess supply has two quantity, supply and demand, right? Difference. So the difference is excess demand or excess supply. If you have an algebraic equation, remember, equate them, you got the equilibrium price. Okay? Above it and below it, you got two quantity. QT and QS are different. Okay? So when there's excess demand, excess supply, remember, you have to calculate QT and QS separately and then subtract them. Okay? If QS larger, excess supply, QT larger, excess demand. This is just a theory. In real examination, you get given A, B, C, D, the values. Okay. And then doubling effects on price. Okay. Okay. Remember, demand and supply curve in your brain. Okay. Draw it out in the brain. Okay. How to push the price up by changing the supply and changing the demand curve. Okay. Okay. Increase the demand, right? Decrease the supply, right? The two curves shift and the both effects affect the price rises. Okay. Okay. Do it in your brain. If you can't, then get a paper to find it out. Okay. So and supply and demand can change at the same time. Okay. For example, slowing down the growth of the economy of foreign country. Why foreign country? Okay. How can that affect the domestic thing? Okay. Think about it. Okay. So when the foreign countries' economy slow down, right? So the demand of export decreases. Yes, they buy less our export, so the demand decreases. But if at the same time the supply increases, oh no. So both things will shift the price up, and then the price will increases or decreases twice. Okay. The diagram is here. Okay. If demand drops and supply increases at the same time, the price drops and drops twice. Okay. On the contrary, when demand increases and supply decreases, the price rises and rises. Both increases. Okay. So there will be doubling effect. Okay. On twice the increase of the price. Okay. Or decrease of the price. But you can see the quantity is just mildly changed. Okay. Because increase and decrease. Increase and decrease. Okay. So when the price change is high by both the change of demand and supply, the quantity change will be mild. Okay. So you need to draw two pair of supply and demand curve. Very complicated. D1, D2, S1, S2 are lots of price and lots of equilibrium. And the doubling effect on the quantity output, okay, is the other thing, okay. When the effects on price are cancelled, the effects on quantity output will be large, okay. So demand supply curve again in your brain, okay. Draw it out in your brain, okay. So how to decrease the quantity, how to decrease the market quantity together? Got it? Decrease the demand and decrease of supply, right? Both decrease. Q will decrease a lot. So that's it. So when it's slowing down of the growth of the foreign country, you got it quick, right? Foreign country economy get bad, okay, so the export demand drops, okay, so demand drops, and the supply drop together, and the quantity will be lowered quickly, okay. And the diagram is like this, okay. So both S decrease and D decrease, and then the quantity shift to the left, okay. Decrease or not, but you see the price drops and rise, okay. Okay, so when the quantity change or not, the price change and need to be. On the contrary, when the quantity increase much because demand increase and supply increase, okay, the price just change and need to be changed mildly. So opposite. You can't have great change of quantity and price at the same time. Never. Okay, resource allocation is a concept. Okay, we call it price mechanism. That's the change of price. Okay, price mechanism is the process to reach the market equilibrium by the force of demand and supply through what's change of price. Okay? We don't need to force people to buy things or not to produce things. No need. Just increase the price or decrease the price. Okay. In a free market, the price is free to move. Free to move, no one has the power on the price. Okay. All are price taker, and the price has a signal effects to consumer and incentive effect on the producer. Okay. And because all the people we do the rational. Okay. So reallocation of resources. Okay, is the redistribution of resources to specific production of goods and services after the change of externalities. Okay. For example, increase the supply, increase the demand. Okay. Change the DQ. And change the Q, increase of Q means more resources. Decrease of Q means less resources. Okay. Signaling and incentive effect. This is a two effect. One is on signaling is on the demand. Incentive is on the supply because of specific names. Okay. When the price decreases, it's a signal to consumer to consume more. And there's also a signal to producer to reduce production. Okay. As a result, the fewer resources will be allocated to the production. When the price increases, signal to a consumer and signal to producer. Sorry, signal incentive both can be to consumer and producer. Okay, no difference. Okay, for IBDP. Okay. Okay, so incentive is when the pricing increases, the increase of willingness for the producer to produce more. Okay, so intensive signals, and then rationing. Okay, rationing. But sometimes the price mechanism doesn't work. Okay? In shortage of goods, the price mechanism fail to work. Okay, so government has to use the rationing. Rationing is the decision by the government. Okay, desire the distribution of goods to different people. So some people has rationing for the meat. Okay, rationing for the milk or rationing for anything. Okay, that's scarce in the society, and we call it rationing. Okay, now even in Brazil they use rationing too. Yeah. Not enough products. Okay. Of course, there's another type of rationing. There's, for example, queuing up to buy goods. In short, you can say queuing up is the rationing. Okay? First come, first serve. Okay? Black market is also a rationing. Okay, to doing the rationing during a shortage of goods. So queuing up and then black market is a kind of a rationing. Okay, the same category. And then type of service is important for us to talk about why is the most efficient way. Producer service is a convenient name for the genus, okay? And the range of land is the leading species, okay? It is a comparison between economics and biology, okay? Genus and species. It means they are closely related, okay? Forget it, okay? I know. We are not, we don't learn biology, maybe. So just forget it. It's just for fun, okay? So different types of service, okay? Consumer service, okay? You know, consumer service, okay, is the difference between the price the consumer willing to pay. They willing to pay for more higher price and exactly the selling price. Okay. So there's a difference. Okay. The willing one is higher. So there's a difference between the consumer actually spend and how much they are willing to spend. Okay. actually spend is lower. On the producer service is the opposite. Producer service is the difference between the price the producer willing to sell is lower, and the selling price is high. So it is the amount, the actual earning of the producer, the market price, okay, above the amount of earning the producer willing to pay, okay, the supply curve. Okay. And these two services add together is the social service, okay, just the sum of the consumer service and producer service. Show you the diagram and you understand it easily. This is the diagram. Allocative efficiency in the competitive market equilibrium. This is the demand curve. Remember what's demand curve? Demand curve is the price the consumer willing to pay. But actually the market price is here. So for the Q, before the Q, okay, all the demand curve is above the market price, right? So the consumer willing to pay more, right? So this next light gray thing is the consumer service. So the consumer service is the area demand curve above the equilibrium price P. It is shown by the light shade area. So do you remember the supply curve? Supply curve is the price the producer willing to get to produce, right? And the supply curve is always below the equilibrium price until Q, right? So this is a producer service. Producer service is the area of the supply curve below the equilibrium price. Okay? It's shown as a dark shade area. And the social service is add these two together. In the society, producer and consumer both have this service, add them together is social service. So it is this big area. Okay? And the equilibrium price A, okay? When the quantity demand increase or decrease, okay? So there's increase or decrease, the social service will decrease. Okay? So we said that at this point, social service is maximized. Okay? So with that, from the society point of view, A is the most efficient base. You call it allocative efficient because social service is maximized at A. And then we can also look at the demand and supply curve as the marginal benefit and marginal cost. Okay? The demand curve show the willingness of the consumer willing to pay for the next good, right? So it's a marginal benefit of the utility of the consumer, right? And the supply curve is the price the producer willing to produce. So it is a marginal cost. So you can say demand equals supply market equilibrium. You can also say it is a marginal benefits of the consumer equals a marginal cost of the producer at that point. And the surplus is above it. Okay? And in paper here, you need to do some calculation, but just very easy. Finding out this triangle's area. Just remember area is triangle area is half base times height. So look carefully which height. Okay. For consumer service P1 minus P, producer service P minus P2. For the society service, the whole triangle P1 minus P2. So you got all the things right. Excellent. So pay attention to the units of price and quantity on the axis. Be careful, be careful. If it is dollar per kilogram times kilogram, then it's dollar. Right? But if it's dollar per kilogram and the horizontal axis because it's markets one way, tons, okay. Change it to 1,000 kilograms. Then you'll be 1,000 times more, right? So be careful. Don't answer in some silly question. The society benefit is just $2, right? $2 million, right? Thank you, and that's all my sharing, okay? It is a long video. Try to watch it again and bring out some paper for each part. You see the diagram. Just try to pause it, look at the paper, then draw it out, okay? Whenever you get stuck, play the video back up 1 or 2 minutes. I'm sure after this process, you'll learn it quicker, okay? And if you like our sharing and it helps you a little bit, I hope so, okay? Please like, share, and subscribe, okay? See you for next Economic Tuesday. Bye.